Hey, what's up, guys? Back again with episode 4 of Magic Rants in the Car. So, let me just tell you that this is a conversation that I've had with my playgroup probably 100,000 times. And I say my playgroup, like individually. And everyone always agrees that this is true, but I just don't see it. Nobody plays enough interaction. And it's not just my playgroup, I just mean this generally too. Like, a lot of people just don't play enough interaction. Command Zone has done several videos talking about how many pieces of interaction you should play and how you should play Mass Disruption and all kind of things like that. But here's the thing, I don't think people are doing it. A lot of games I end up getting into, and I play with a bunch of random people, and I've played with like my playgroup. In Magic, or Commander specifically, feels more like a race to do the thing than an actual interactive game where things happen. And if you stop someone from doing the thing, then you're almost being mean. But I'm like, well, that's when you got to come down to the question of what are you playing for? Are you playing to win, or are you playing just for everybody to have a good time? Because if the point is for nobody really to hurt anybody and it to just be a race, then are you really even playing a game? Like, you're just hanging out and showing each other what your deck can do without interacting. It's not really what the game is supposed to be. That's why counter spells exist. That's why removal spells exist. That's why, I mean, there's so many different things that exist in the game of Magic for interaction. And I'll be honest that I also am one of the ones that first cut interaction when I want to make room for a cool new piece for the deck, and I don't want to cut one of my cards I like. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just cut this removal spell. I always regret it, and then I'm playing, and I end up being like, man, I should have kept that removal spell in there because I'd much rather have that right now than this piece that's like a win more card. It's a thing that it's pretty common. It's a common issue. I'm not saying that everybody should be trying to play CEDH and be super competitive, but I'm like, I play to win. Like, I enjoy striving to make a deck strong enough that can beat the pod and win. That's my enjoyment. I enjoy that very much. So, that being the case, the question I have that I would propose to you, audience, is, how often do you end up pulling punches for pods that don't run enough removal? Let me tell you one of my number one players that I play against, and that's my wife. My wife is just an amazing woman, and I love her to pieces. She is just my ride or die. She is my everything, and I love her dearly. And she doesn't really care for Magic, but she learned to play it so she could play it with me. So I'd have somebody to play with when we don't have time to get together with our friends or whatever. And she knows I like to play, so she'll play with me. But she's so funny because she will be like, that's okay, I'm not gonna get mad. And then if you do anything to her, she gets mad. If I attack her, she's mad. If I remove a creature of her, she's mad. If I do anything at all, she's mad. God forbid I board wipe, she just gets mad. But it's so funny because I'll be playing a game with her, and I'll draw a hand. Any other game would be a great hand. I've got like ramp pieces, I've got pieces of my strategy to do the thing, and I've got removal. In one game I was playing, I had multiple pieces of removal, and I ended up like playing a looter. I think it was Likeness Looter. I played Likeness Looter, and every time I was cycling, I was just discarding removal spells. And it ended up costing me the game. I'm pretty sure that game I'm thinking of, I lost. But it's because I didn't play removal, but the cost of the fun that I knew would not be had if I played to its full potential. That's just me and my wife, though. Like, when you're playing with a pod, and my play group consists of like a buddy of mine, my brother-in-law, and my sister, and my wife, and, you know, I have a couple other buddies that I play with also, just not as often. But that's what it consists of. Like, so when we get together and we're playing, like, there are times, not all the time, like sometimes I just straight up lose. That happens. And you're not going to win all the time too. For those who like to win, you got to get comfortable knowing that you're just not going to win every game. You're playing a 4-player game, sometimes 3, sometimes 2, but you're playing a game where there are other players. So statistically, you're just not gonna, sorry for that car. Statistically, you're just not gonna win every game. You're not gonna win every game you play, and that's okay. But when you're trying to win and you realize that, let's say you're playing and one of the players at the pod has a kill on sight commander. There are a lot of kill on sight commanders, but I mean one of those like really kill on sight commanders, like Tulane, Corvold, Tergrid. None of my players in my pod play decks like that, but I'm saying those are examples. But let's say they play in a kill on sight commander and they play it, and I remove it with a Swords to Plowshares like immediately. That's fine. They got to pay a little commander tax and they get her back out. Now here's the thing. I have a Path to Exile in my hand also. And if they cast it again and then I remove it again, I'm a jerk. But that's definitely the right move. That's the right move to make. Like, that's what you should do if you want to win, is remove that commander, because that one's going to produce so much advantage that if you allow it to proceed, they will just win. They will just outright win the game. So, I think a great example of this from my pod is Gishath. Gishath is a crazy cool commander. I love dinosaurs. My brother-in-law plays them, and he will play Gishath, and it's definitely a kill on sight commander, because if it gets in at all, the amount of dinosaurs that hit the field, it's just bonkers. It's bananas, and so you have to kill it or do something. And honestly, I don't know. I just, like, I'm torn, because sometimes I feel like I can tell when I'm playing with somebody, if I've interacted with them, I can tell if they're just like, they take it as, oh, that was fair, or they're a little salty. The little, something a buddy of mine used to do. You would taste that salt in the air. But I can tell. And so if I'm playing a game and I can taste the salt a little bit, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna back off. I don't want to anger anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But that's the thing. It's not a race. We're not racing to see who can do the thing first. We're playing a game where I'm supposed to try to stop you from doing the thing while also protecting myself while I try to do the thing. And doing the thing for some decks is just winning the game. I can't stand when they're like, I didn't even get the chance to do the thing. But if you got to do the thing, you'd have won. Like, that doing the thing is so good that you just win. Then yeah, sometimes you're just not going to get to do the thing. But everybody gets mad if they don't get to do the thing, and it's just this whole thing. For me, I don't think that playing removal and counter spells and interaction in general, I don't think that it's rude or mean. I think it's like playing a game. It's like if you play, for those who are game players, if you play Magic, I'm assuming you like other games. Catan. Catan is a great game. But if you're playing a game of Catan and someone's got all the ore and all the wheat, but they don't have any, what's the other one? Is it a sheep? Yeah, they don't have any sheep. And you know that if they're like one development card away from winning the game because you're going to get a victory point, like, you don't trade them sheep. You know that if they get that sheep, they're going to win. So you don't give it to them. And it's not rude, it's just you playing the game. And that's how Magic is. But for some reason, because Magic is more of a Commander specifically, is more of a social format, then people don't want to upset anybody, and they think everybody should get a chance to do their thing and let their deck shine, and that's just not how it works if you want to play a game where everyone's trying their best. I don't think that you should come to the table and play a bracket 4 or bracket 5 deck and try to play against a bunch of bracket 2s and say, I'm just trying my best. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're actually just sitting down with a table of people and I have removal spells and it's going to help me to play them, I shouldn't feel bad about playing them, but often I do. So question to you again is, how often do you pull punches? Is that something that you do, or do you not care? I feel like I've seen a lot online, a lot of discussions about this, and a lot of times people just don't care. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm just going to do it. But like, it's again, I want to be able to play with these people again. I don't want to anger anybody. And again, like I said in one of my other videos, I've become the arch enemy a lot, and so I just I end up taking decks apart pretty quickly because I'll play a deck and everybody hates it, and I don't get to play it. And because I could play it, but if I did, everybody would be mad. And so for that reason, I take it apart and use it to build other decks. Like, I like a deck to be powerful so that everyone fears it, but not so powerful that they feel they can't do anything about it. I'll give you a great example of this before I close this video out. I built a Carador deck. Nitpicking Nerds is a channel I watch a lot. I love those guys. They're really cool. But I kept seeing BZ talking about Carador, and so I was like, oh, I gotta build a Carador. They look so fun. So I built Carador, and I built it Hermit Druid. I think that's the name of the card. You know, the one where you like mill until you hit a basic land. I built it Hermit Druid with 3 basics in the deck, and so basically I played a handful of tutors. I would search up Hermit Druid. I would like mill half my library roughly every time off Hermit Druid, and then I would be able to go from there and just play stuff in the graveyard. That was awesome, and no one really had a huge problem with that. I mean, everyone knew that Hermit Druid was a problem, so as soon as I was able to get a hold of it or get it onto the field, people were upset or were worried. But then, for some reason, and this card's not even that good in a lot of examples, but Avacyn Angel Restorer? Avacyn, the one that gives everything indestructible, and she has indestructible. So, everything's got indestructible. For some reason, this was enough to put my pod at halt. They could not handle it. And so that deck did not last very long because I wasn't just going to take Avacyn out and like put in a mediocre card. That felt wrong. So I was like, well, maybe it's just too strong of a strategy. But really, it was that one card. It was that one card. So, I mean, I realized that every time I played that card, everybody kind of threw their hands up like, well, we can't do anything about that. I'm like, man, just play one Swords to Plowshares and then she's gone. She's got no protection against exile. But yeah, that's just one of them things that happens. It's just one of them things. So, I'll drop my phone. But yeah, that's just one of them things, man. So, thanks for watching. This is a little bit of a longer video. If you guys enjoy these type videos, please leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down below on what you think. Do you pull punches? Or are you more of a heavy interaction player? Or do you play less interaction and focus more on doing the thing? Like, what do you do? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.